I don't think guys are playing tight at all, honestly.
It's not fun, then what am I doing it for?
If I'm here, I'm here. I'm not. Like, it's nothing in my control, so I try to control what I can control.
That's his team now, so he going to be a star in this league. Already a star.
Yeah, we're going to let him start the rest of the season. Oh, Bears, Bills, Steelers, Bengals. Probably should do I'm like, nah, I'm good. I already showed y'all what I can do. Put Dylan in there.
I don't think there's any other team whose rookies are contributing as much as this.
Live look at Chicago. At least the sky's blue. We've taken this shot the last few weeks. No matter where the game was played, it was all gray and gross. It is supposed to be very cold, very windy, and lousy for this football game. But at least it has the illusion of looking decent with a blue sky. How you doing, guys? Mark Schwab, Reggie Langhorn, Josh Cribbs with you on a Browns game day Sunday. And it is Bears Day. Two teams, it feels like going in opposite directions, right? Chicago got their quarterback. They've started to develop the new head coach. They seem to be playing pretty well. Shador, hopefully, maybe, probably not. I don't know. Where do you guys feel on where he's at? And I want to look at through this lens. He had a good day last week. They lost to the worst team in football. Considering what Shador did, yes or no, that was a good day?
I think he played a good football game last week. I mean, obviously the interception I thought was an erratic throw, but outside of that, he put up good numbers. But you're still supposed to do better on defense to help him out as a rookie playing quarterback. I mean, they got ran over last week, and we gave the ball to them in short fields, and those are things you just can't do. And no matter who you are, what you're ranking, it's still the National Football League. There's still pros on the other side. You still have to do fundamental things that keep you in position to win in the fourth quarter. And we had a shot to tie.
Yep.
Then we, did some double, triple, quadruple reverse, and that changed things.
Josh, good day or bad day? They
Bad
lost.
day.
Bad day.
Great. It's always positive things to take from an NFL football game, especially when you're evaluating your players. Bad day. You didn't win. That's the goal, to win. But when you looking at a game, I was trying to put something on my social, but guess what? We don't get service down here, so it's not going to show. So I'll say it right now. Why are we watching the Browns game today, right? Browns versus Bears. Why would fans watch? Well, for me, it's to see the continued growth and consistency of Shador Sanders, to see if he can solidify himself like he did last week, to see if that can be the guy for next year, if he can be a contender for next season. And then, on the other hand, there's Myles Garrett. It's not like watching a versus battle, him versus Trent Williams, a tackle, or him versus the Bears. It's him. It's like playing an adventure game where the final level is him becoming a demigod. And I think Reggie can attest to this. We like seeing athletes perfect their craft as we did, right? To see them on another level. I want to see him perfect his craft in a way that now I'm proud that he's on our team. So those are the two reasons that I'm watching this game. We're not in playoff contention, so the wins and losses have little, value at this point. However, I would like a win, but I want to see those two things in particular first.
And I like what Josh said. It makes a lot of sense. Those are two things to look forward to. But I've also noticed that on those last couple of drives, how many rookies were on the football field for us with Sampson and Bond and then Shador. All these guys are guys that's going to be a benefit for this organization for a long time. And for the last 40 years of my life, I've been associated with Brown and Orange, so I'm going to cheer for them no matter what the situation. And I love to see Myles Garrett break the record, absolutely, but I want him to do it within 16 weeks. And this is another opportunity for those guys to get better. I guess this would be the right way, but it's cold up there. Now, if I'm 10-3, then it ain't that cold. But if I'm 3-10, it's extra cold.
And not just that. I want it is. It's like 18 degrees. I flew in last night.
It feels like negative.
Yeah. I came from, and it was cold in North Carolina.
Yeah.
It was about 38, 40. Yeah. But the pilot said it's 18 degrees. And we kind of slid off the runway a little bit. So it's a different level in Chicago. Chicago and Cleveland kind of the same. However, when I look at this game, and I'm hearing what Reggie saying, he started off with something real impactful. And people have been calling for Andrew Berry's head, right? When you see all his rookie class, maybe about a few. I would say Dylan, But everybody else, right, are league leaders or performing in such a way that, that's why we drafted him. Sampson, on down the list.
Yes.
So I think that's a testament to Andrew Berry picking the right guys, because this rookie class is a standout class. And was he doing this? Is this a testament to Podesta leaving? What was his involvement with the draft class?
Maybe
I don't
he
mean to throw that out there.
He finally got the numbers right and then used that to get the Colorado Rockies gig. All right, here's something we'll be talking about, and LBR wants you to keep an eye on it. How can the Browns' run defense bounce back this week? Because they were trash last week. Tailgate off and running on 19.
Good Sunday morning, Browns fans. Well, it's cold here, but not much better in Chicago right now. The Browns are taking on the Bears, of course, this afternoon, and it is going to be bitterly cold. Right now, for tailgating for fans, it is only 7 degrees above zero, and that wind chill is 10 degrees below zero. In fact, earlier this morning, the wind chill dropped to 20 degrees below zero, so improvement, I guess, but not a lot of improvement, of course, as we head throughout the game. So here's our game day forecast at Soldier Field. Going to be one of the coldest games in history, as we do see those temperatures starting around 9 degrees at kickoff and barely rising through the halftime and fourth quarter. If there's any silver lining, at least it's going to be sunny, no snow expected, but those winds will still be blustery, and those wind chills will stay below zero as we head throughout the game. So we'll see how this affects gameplay for sure, but either way, go Browns.
They wanted me, and I try to keep it as simple as that. And a game I love to play, a game that I thought I was done playing. Certainly, I wasn't really hanging on any hope of playing again. I'd kind of thought that ship had sailed, but something about it excited me, and it's kind of one of those deals. The door opens, and you can either walk through it and find out if you can do it, or or run from it.
Now, Bench Strength, sponsored by Wayside Furniture.
All right, so normally this segment is reserved for talking about somebody coming off the Browns bench, but frankly, there's a much better talker in Indianapolis. You saw it there. Philip Rivers signing with the Colts. Sounds like he's starting this weekend. Fill in the blank, gentlemen. The Colts signing Philip Rivers is
going to be a disaster. I mean,
that's great.
Yeah, he has the. I'm sure he'll have the fortitude to come back and do. But they're not hawking him down in practice like he will in the game. If I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm going to welcome him back. An opposing team. I'm going to welcome him back to the NFL. Hey, remind him how it feels for NFL edge rushers to come up fast and to get you like you haven't been got before. I think him being older than me and understanding that the game speed to be out there, it takes an evolution of games and practice to get to game ready. I don't care how much experience you have, you need game ready experience. They're going to send the house out after him, and it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, you can't match what happens in a national football game this late in the season with the speed and everything else that goes on. So I'm going at him if I'm the defensive guy and blitz him and make him throw the ball away, hopefully get a couple of picks. But I had my phone ring with so many texts from people back home who kept asking me, like, what? Colin Kaepernick's 5 or 6, 7 years younger than this guy. And this guy, I mean, he's been gone for a while. You get that
Cam
same
Newton.
phone call?
Yeah.
Cam Newton. I mean,
Cam Newton was really upset.
Right. I mean, you can look at it a lot of different ways, but Philip Rivers is,
And I've seen him currently, and he doesn't come off. He comes off as if you watched that show with Napoleon Dynamite, and the uncle was throwing that football. It's giving that type of energy where, I used to be good. Right. There was a time. There's a meme going around on social media when players in different lifestyles, whether they're in different jobs or whatever, and they walk up to a beam and then they do a move like I used to be good. Yep. And they go to a starting line and they do an NFL move like I used to be good, but now they're wearing a suit and they're commentating. He needs to be commentating this game. He needs to be broadcasting this game. But I wish him success. Like, I mean, go ahead out there and do your best.
Do your thing.
Do your thing.
Somebody wondered why did the Colts sign him? Real quick here as we get out. He's had a connection with the coaching staff.
Yes.
He's run their offense in his high school
it
team.
makes absolute sense.
High school.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows the offense already. If they bring in somebody else, they got to learn it all.
Understood.
He already knows it. That's their logic.
So
Tailgate
why is
continues.
the coach
Right
ain't
after
playing?
this, at the scene of the crime of the 2016 World Series.
Every week, guys are trying. Every team has an NFL, a miles plan, right?
He has as the kids say, is a deep bag of tricks.
He's built for the big stage, the big moments.
Quarterbacks don't want to get sacked no matter what week it is.
I haven't seen a more dominant football player than that.
They've got to earn everything they get, and we're coming in to win just like they are.
Listen, weather's part of the game. It's the same for both teams.
There's no one that I can think of that can do some of the things that he does.
The Injury Report, sponsored by the man that makes them pay, Tim Misney.
All right, the Browns just with a mess. Look at all the guys out. Conklin out, Teller out, Njoku out, Ward out, Sampson out, Posick we knew about. Zinner doesn't even play.
That's 3 and 10 right there, Schwab.
That's what?
That's 3 and 10.
That's
if
what 3 and 10 does to you.
Half those guys be playing. It's a new world out there.
That does impact
late in the year. I keep telling you. That's why, and I said this. I said, how some of our starters. I was surprised to see Denzel Ward still playing, and he played a lot of footballs. Usually, sometimes there's injuries that happen for him, and they shut him down, and that's been able to solidify him for more years. I want to see Miles reach his destiny, his goals. But then I want to see his reps limited, because I want us to pull all his potential. Just like all of our guys. Let the rookies get their shot. Let the young guys make a name for themselves. But our guys that are solidified, I don't want them to give up. But I do want to see noticeable decrease in some of their reps. That's just, it don't have to let everybody else know. But come in and out. I want to see Myles Garrett after you get that record. Yeah, you got the game a little bit more than usual.
I want to talk about David Njoku. He's out today, and people wonder: is this guy? Could he be a cap casualty, so to speak, after the season? Is this the last time he walks off a field as a Cleveland Brown? What do you guys think?
His contract is up.
No, it's not. But they can move. They can just move on from him. I mean, Fannon's developed. They pay him a lot. They don't use him. They don't throw to him a lot.
Njoku has made some big plays this year to help this football team. He's been a good leader. He's played through a lot of things since he's been here. But those financial decisions are going to be made also by Deshaun Watson's contract. All that money's got to go. Somebody's going to have to go to get more players. It's just that simple. If we can have another good draft like we did this year and get another 4 or 5 guys that can play, there's going to be a lot of veterans that are going to be expendable.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to see David Njoku go.
Right. Neither do I.
I think him and Fanning, again, I keep saying this and I'm pushing for this. When you're talking about athletes and needing them and everybody's screaming like we need more wide receivers.
One helps the other.
You got something that we just got to utilize the right way. Mm-hmm. But Fanning is a dog, no doubt, and he provides that opportunity for the management to move on.
All right, before we go to break, we got to do one of our favorite segments. It's blind resume time. Producer Chris takes 2 players, removes the names. Quarterback 1, quarterback 2. First 30 starts of their career. Who would you rather have?
I know I don't want the guy sacked 88 times. And I don't think I want the guy that's got 21 interceptions. So it's a quandary for me. What do you think? Yeah.
5 TDs.
I'm going QB2.
Can I pick somebody else?
No, you'll take I'll take the physical challenge.
You know what? You want your quarterback to be able to lead your guys to victory, however. 18 and 12 over 14 and 16. I'm scared to pick that guy.
I'm going to go with QB2. I don't know anything, but
yeah, because
No, I don't know actually. Caleb Williams, Mitch Trubisky. Wow.
I knew it was going to be a cluster.
Well, you can't say nothing bad about Trubisky. This is home, so he's a good guy. We'll leave it at that.
But he has the better stats.
Yeah.
He does have the better stats. What did it for me was the touchdowns to interceptions. Sometimes sacks, I know Williams has been sacked more. Sometimes it's a quarterback just doesn't get rid of the ball.
Caleb is on the rise, though.
He is absolutely on the rise. Now. The Bears lead the league with 27 takeaways.
Yeah.
How do the Browns not give the ball away? That's something to watch from the OBR. Tailgate continues right after this.
Might be a new general manager, might be a new head coach. I'm not buying for a millisecond that Shedeur Sanders is their long-term answer at quarterback. I'm just not.
Okay.
I've seen others say that let's give him time, and I just don't see it, especially if it's a current regime. Although I would say the percentages of them both being back to general manager Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, are probably slim.
Now the Pigskin Poll, sponsored by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers.
All right, this was our Pigskin Poll. We do it every week. Take a question, put it on the news, ask the folks to go and vote, and the folks go and vote. Which quarterback would you rather have long-term? Baker Mayfield, Shedeur Sanders. This is exactly the lightning rod you would expect it was.
Wow.
Go.
That's really not fair. Again, Baker had to leave to become the quarterback that he is now. If he was still here, I doubt he would have had that type of success. Again, we have to remind ourselves that he went to Carolina, he went to the Rams, and they both had to let him go. It's not because he wasn't playing good. The teams were bad. So he went somewhere else, and he beat the guy out of a position to become who he is today. So we got to all go through things, and we have to understand that. So right now where we are at as a football team, with a player on the rise, you take a guy like Shedeur Sanders who has potential, upside. You know the limitations of Baker. We wish him well. I love seeing him win. But for the time that it is now, it is Shedeur's time to have an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take 4 games and try to make a decision on someone long term. I think there's more that's going to take place. I mean, obviously, Shedeur needs more time behind quarterback. He needs more understanding of what the defenses are. He needs the game to slow down for him. He needs to find someone that works with him that makes him a better quarterback. Baker's done a good job here when he was here, and then that year he got hurt. Personally, I couldn't understand why was he playing hurt like that. Was that his decision, or was it the coaches or organization? But pretty much that ran him out of town. Now, I want Shedeur to be a quarterback. I'm hoping that he can stay here. I watched things that take place, and I was not sold when he was at Colorado, but I see that as a good upside. He can do some things. Mm-hmm. How can you refine those things that make him a better player? And I think it's within him. I mean, he's got the size, he's got the arm, he's got the accuracy. All you got to do is work with him. And that's why I don't know how people can make a decision on someone long-term with this little bit of information that we have.
And I don't see him not being here. What would be the cause for him not to be here?
For Shedeur to not be here?
Yes, for Shedeur to not be here.
I think he would be here, but if they take a kid 2nd overall, that kid is in line to start.
Like taking somebody 3rd overall.
Yeah, if the Browns pick a quarterback high in the draft.
3rd round and all of a sudden this guy's better than this guy when everyone had this guy rated higher. How does that even work? Does it even make sense?
I don't see a person.
Nothing makes sense here.
I don't see a person, a college kid, athlete that's a clear and obvious choice. It was they're liable to force it on us like they forced Dylan Gabriel on us.
Yeah.
It wasn't clear and obvious. There were quarterbacks that were clear and obvious that they could have been busts, but if we go back, we would do it again because their college stats show that. But it's not clear and obvious as it related to Dylan Gabriel, and I don't feel like any other quarterback right now.
You guys go ahead. Look at that.
This thing
2-1.
is what kind of irks me a little bit sometimes. Like there's always an underlining thing when people talk about this kid. I mean, he's done nothing but answer every question, even when he's trying to be twisted to say something to get an argument with someone else. He's done what's been asked of him. He's done nothing to harm anyone on that team. The guys like him. If he gets someone that supports him and gives him a fair opportunity to learn this game, he can be a better quarterback. And we won't know that until someone comes here to truly teach him better than what he's been taught.
That question is kind of like saying, oh, do we like Mahomes or Shedeur Sanders? Yeah, we'll want the better quarterback right now, but what will be our future?
I want to ask you guys, changing gears here. The weather's terrible. We talked about that in Chicago. This was the Browns all week, practicing inside every day when you are going to be playing in negative wind chills. Is that smart?
Yes. Yes.
How come?
I did the opposite. We lost to teams like Miami and Jaguars and teams that come from warmer climates. We were out there sniffling, sick, colds, running. We're paid heavily. These guys are paid heavily to perform on game day. Practice is about getting good and getting the timing and getting the reps, the looks, and everything prepared for game day, which you expend all your worth for the money that you're getting paid in the sport that you love. You don't need to be out there in the cold, in the temperature, and you barely getting good practice in because you're so cold. It's practice. You don't have to practice to go out there for one game and give it your all. We did both, and we still lost both. It matters who's the best game. It doesn't matter if you're playing a team against Miami. We played against Miami. We practiced in the cold. We prepared for it. We were shivering. Everybody was sick, and we lost. And they came up for one game after practicing in 100-degree heat all week
and
whooped us in the snow.
Reg,
I've had it both ways.
Okay.
I mean, I remember we were in the playoffs early in my career, and we would leave and go to Vero Beach. I mean, we went out to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the altitude to play against Denver, so we went with everything. And then there was times where we practiced out in the cold, and you got to learn how to get adjusted. The ball is a different ball when it's cold like that. Your body does not warm up like 80 degrees when you're playing in that. But practicing in, I like what Josh said. It makes sense to practice where you play and all that. So.
All right, this is Lake Michigan right now, and no thank you. I would like no part of those waters or anywhere near where that wind is blowing in at probably 1,000 miles an hour. When we come back, we're going around the AFC, turmoil in Cincinnati, and Travis Kelce is upset. Literally no one will feel sorry for him. Tailgate continues right after this.
Seem frustrated.
There's just a lot of things going on right now.
Football related, personally.
All the above. If I want to keep doing this, I have to have fun doing it. I've been through a lot, and if it's not fun, then what am I doing it for?
Around the AFC, sponsored by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, that from Cincinnati this week.
Kids having a rough life.
Yeah, the folks have said
kids having a
basically
rough
he's
life.
just frustrated with losing.
Kids having a rough life.
Having a rough life.
I mean, he looks like he's had a pretty good life, and I don't know where you get that attitude in front of your team or the news to do that. I saw someone else go off on him with that kind of attitude. I mean, everyone else out there is going through the same thing you are. You're supposed to be the leader of this team. Keep some of that stuff to yourself. I mean, I don't need to see you be the leader and tell me I'm sad because I'm losing. Man, you get $50, $60 million a year. I mean, that ain't a bad day's work. for 6 months out of the year.
Right. I
Come on,
agree.
Joe. I had respect for you. Don't tick me off like that.
I agree with the public perception of that. He could feel like that. We've all been there, but he's the leader of his team. If your leader is out in the open about that, I felt like that with the Browns. We were losing constantly, and I was starting not to love the game. I came home one day, went over to St. Ignatius Field. I saw kids playing Pop Warner. I was like, you know what? I need this. Me and my wife, we ducked in the crowd, watched the game, and I had to rededicate myself to my craft. I had to understand where I came from. Rec ball, wanting to play in the National Football League, and then now I do. And so how can I be, a beggar, wanting to play at such a high level there and then complaining? So after that, I had such a different perspective, renewed faith in myself and the sport that I played, and he needs to do the same. He needs to rededicate himself to his craft.
There are guys on teams that in the offseason you watch them work out, it gives you drive to work harder. There are guys on teams that this time of year who have been hurt all year and finally getting a chance to get back in there, and you look at their eyes before game time, and you learn to respect guys like that. And that's the kind of guy that he needs to be for his team because he is the lead guy.
I want to hear from let's get Travis Kelce in here, and then we'll get some reaction. Go ahead.
You put in all this work in hopes that it pays off, and right now it just, for whatever reason, man, it's little things. It's, I don't know, discipline. I feel like I've always had the answers in years past, and this year I just can't find them. It's a feeling, man.
I hear you.
You put in all this work to, be there for your guys, and I just wasn't that.
All right, so Travis Kelce has 3 Super Bowl rings, bazillions of dollars, practically never loses, and oh, by the way, he has Taylor Swift that he's about to marry. So literally no human alive is feeling bad for him. And Josh, I got to imagine you in particular, considering all the bad football teams you were on, he gets a little bit of a taste of things not going absolutely amazing.
Right.
You've got to hear that and be like, cry me a river.
I hear it, and, I have the opposite. Again, just like Burrow, and he could be used to winning, but Burrow is tired of losing. He wants to keep winning. Look at things like that in a different perspective, not as, OBJ's comments about not being able to live on $100 million. Not like that, but not performing at the level that which you think you should be performing at. And at times it sucks that if you're good, you have the guys and the talent and the pieces in place, and you're still not winning. So the perspective for me changes for him. He's allowed to feel cruddy and unsuccessful and shameful for not meeting the potential and expectation. That's how great players are supposed to be when they're not performing. I just don't want to see them, publicly complain about it. Do something.
Yeah. Well,
do something.
When we come back, we'll hear from a player. Actually, he went through a pretty hard moment. Zach Ertz was mic'd up through an emotional injury last week. I'd love to get your guys' reaction to that. You feel for the guy, certainly. Tailgate continues right after this.
I think like hyperextended.
Yeah. Where'd you feel it, Zach?
In the back.
Back. Okay.
Bro, I don't think I can get up myself.
Okay, we got you. Take your time.
Oh.
Go away, Doug. I'm going, yeah. JB coming in? Yeah. Sorry.
Now the Quick Picks, sponsored by your local Kia dealers.
Honestly, that is tough to watch. That Zach Ertz, he happened to be mic'd up on a game. He suffers a significant injury. He is out for the year. He's obviously further along in his career. And, we talked about before, nobody's going to feel bad for guys like Travis Kelce and Joe Burrow if they're going through. But those moments, if you don't feel for that guy, I know he's made money, but if you don't feel for that guy in that moment, I don't know what's wrong with you. That's tough.
I think myself and Reggie been in the moments where we've been injured, and it has put our craft on the line. It has put our livelihood on the line. So he makes his money by playing in the NFL, and to see athletes fall, I think we all, can feel the heartbreak in that moment, just like we felt for Nicholas Chubb in that moment. Yeah. And some can't recover from him. Nick, I don't think he recovered from it. He had 2 knee surgeries on the same knee, and he didn't recover. And he's not in Cleveland anymore because of it. Zach Ertz, he was a Kelce in his prime.
Yeah.
He was that type of athlete. He was sought after from teams. And to see not just the injury, but a player, reach that level at which his value is not the same, for other athletes who understand that, it's saddening. It's saddening to see, but he put it all out there on the line. We know as athletes, this game is 100% injury. It's not it's not if you're going to get hurt, it's when. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, we all have gone through it, but when the thing for me is when you see guys that you love, you've been around for a long time, and when they get to a certain age, or even some guys that are young, when they have these injuries, it saddens you because you know that how hard it is for them to get back. In the old days, an ACL, you're going to get 2 slices up the left and right side of your knee, or 1 down the middle. Those guys didn't come back. I mean, with technology and the medical world now, guys are coming back in 8, 9, 10 months, which is great. But I played with some guys that didn't get a chance to be able to recoup. What was it, Greg Allen, who was out of Florida State, was a second-round draft pick here with me. He could never get that knee healed, and he didn't stay around but a year, and that was all on practice squad. Never played in a real game. He was a second-round pick because of his knee, just like Nick Chubb was. But you saw the difference. Nick Chubb came in and was a big-time Pro Bowl player. But, it's tough to see guys fail or not even fail, just get injured like that.
Yeah, definitely. And it clearly meant a lot to him. I almost called them the Redskins. Commanders have a young tight end they've been developing. He'll get a shot, but you don't want to see anyone get a shot because of something like that. When we come back, we're going to talk about Myles Garrett. There's Wrigley Field. Every time I see this place, I think of the 2016 World Series, and frankly, I want to cry. Tailgate continues right after this.
He's routinely getting chipped from tight ends, backs. He's routinely getting the slide coming to him, a guard coming off and helping out. So, when you got that much attention for you every week and you still putting up the numbers that he's putting up, that's pretty special. I just know this from the 10 years that I was in the NFL as a player, the 6 years now as a coach, I haven't seen a more dominant football player than that.
Now, who needs to deliver? Sponsored by Jets Pizza. Jets, better because it has to be.
That is Jacques Césaire, the defensive line coach for the Browns, talking about Miles. This is the Who Needs to Deliver segment, and Miles always needs to deliver. I'm going to phrase it to you this way, guys. He asked for the trade. He didn't get it. They gave him $40 million a year. He said they sold him on a, quote, plan in air quotes. How's that plan working?
The $40 million plan. That's what the plan is.
Thank you.
But he still came to play this year. And that's one thing, no matter how you go about getting it, every guy in the National Football League is his own corporation. Their jobs is to get the most they can for their corporation for as long as it lasts. That's just business. And the fact that he showed up this year, because a lot of times you see guys get big contracts and they don't go as hard, or they get injured and they're sitting on the sideline making a ton of money. But this guy has lined up and gotten it all year.
Not just that. I go back to my statement at the beginning of the show. He's the reason I watch the game still. And I'm excited when the Browns defense are on there. Is this going to be another sack? Like, as a former player, I'm excited. Like, I don't just watch the offense. I'm watching the defense to see how good they'll play and Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see him break that record. So this is an exciting thing for me, and I agree with his coach in that standpoint.
Have the Browns delivered on anything to him? I know they had a good draft class, but have they delivered on anything to him?
They won 3 games. That ain't a whole lot of delivery. Mailman's late.
No, he's not late on them checks.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the NFL. Anybody, he could have went to a different team and they would have been horrible, but he would have got paid good. But I'm glad he stayed.
And I think that today is going to be one of those things where, we want him to get the sacks. I don't think he's played against Caleb Williams before, and that'll be a big deal and another coffin for him in his yard. But they're going to run the football a lot today. Trust this. They saw what we did last week against the run. Miles is going to have a heck of a time trying to get sacks when they're going to be running the ball at him. Just pay attention to how that goes today.
Caleb, you mentioned him. He's somebody Miles has not faced before. He's going to try to add to the tombstone to this guy. He was an extremely hyped draft prospect, went 1 overall a couple of years ago. Seems to be turning into the guy folks thought he would be. What's your impressions of him?
He looks good throwing the football, and he's got a lot of different delivery points. I've seen him throw the ball sidearm. I've seen him throw it over top. He's just a guy that can do the position, and he rolls out nicely and hits guys on the run. So he's got a lot of upside, and I hope he does well. Not today, though.
He's turning out to be a guy, and that's good for the Bears. I wish him hope.
One thing, though, look at this completion percentage. He's 33rd in the league, which means he's behind somebody's backup. Why doesn't that matter?
Well, they win, they go to the playoffs. Right now, that's all we're concerned with. We'll fix this a little bit later. Next year, we'll go up 10 points and 10 points the next year. But he's got a football team that he can lead to the playoffs in his second year after they were horrible for the last 4, 5, 6 years. Good for him.
4, 5,
Stats
6
don't
decades.
matter if you're winning.
Yep.
They just don't. They do not matter. They only matter when you're a losing team and you're not getting the stats. That's when they matter.
I've been noticing, that in speaking of quarterbacks, and since we're here, that Shedeur Sanders was doing something last week. He was doing this, and then I kept paying attention to why was he doing that. He's trying to get the call to call the play faster, or he's trying to get him in and out of the huddle so he has more time to look things over at the line of scrimmage. And I'll pay attention to that today because it's a tricky thing. If you're late getting him to play and he's young like that, and if they're moving people around, it creates a problem. They got 3 linemen that will not be playing today. You got to get this kid to play quick. You know it's going to be 3rd and 1 or it's going to be 3rd and 5. Those are your options. Help the kid get better.
That's good. I'm going to be watching for that.
So you're saying, do it again. He's doing a lot of this.
He's doing this.
He's doing this.
He's telling them, get
in
the play
his ear,
in, and everybody
give it to me.
Get back to the huddle.
Right.
We have been lollygagging as an offense and just kind of mope around when things don't go well. And it looks like we get in, we kind of walk out to the line. You get up there, hut 1, hut 2.
He's trying to keep them on tempo.
Yep, there you go. That's exactly what I saw last week. And it seemed like everyone they pick the step up a little more. The play maybe comes in sooner. I want this young man to be at the line of scrimmage with 12, 13 seconds so he can survey what he needs to done and then move from there. Don't make it harder on him.
Right.
Make it easier, coach. Come on. Come on, this is what you guys do. Call plays, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Get it in,
sir.
get it in. Kid wants to play.
Yep.
Get him to play.
I love it.
Tailgate winding down. Oh, my gosh, that looks terrible. Kickoff an hour 13 away in Chicago between the Browns and Bears. Ben Johnson, their head coach, took his shirt off. We'll talk about that in a minute. Not in that weather, though. Stick around.
My 2-year-old was watching the TV screen back at home, and she's like, no shirt, no shirt. She just pointed at the screen, no shirt, no shirt. And my wife had no idea what was going on, so that's really about how that went. You know, I think anytime you get a chance to feed a city, you want to do it. So, man of the people.
Follow the Money, sponsored by Cardinal Credit Union.
All right, it's apparently a local hot dog company said if he takes his shirt off, it's free hot dogs for everybody. So he's like, woo, get some dogs. We will talk coaches' salaries here as we follow the money. Pop the graphic up. When you look at where Ben Johnson is compared to Kevin Stefanski, coach is making a lot of money these days. Reed, you can understand why with his success. Ben Johnson just got there. He's already making $13 million a year. Kevin Stefanski's been in his place longer than Ben Johnson, two-time coach of the year. $3.5 million. Is Kevin Stefanski appropriately paid when you compare him to his colleagues?
I think fans will say he's paid too much.
Well, that's why I said when you compare him to his colleagues.
I know you were going to do that.
That's what fans would say, but I don't think he's paid enough. You know, two-time coach of the year. When you're just looking at raw stats, right? You don't coach based off of you don't get paid based off of your record. You should. However, based off his colleagues, he's not being paid adequately enough.
Now,
Simple
if
answer.
I'm not mistaken, he and Andrew Berry both signed a deal last summer. Am I mistaken? This
Yep.
is they're on their
Yes, they did.
So he decided to take this amount of money,
Contract extension.
even after being Coach of the Year twice. So whoever's agent is, he should call somebody else.
There you go.
I don't know.
Straight up
I mean, the guy
bad
just got a
agent.
job. He's got $13 million, and you making $3 million, and you're in your 5th, 6th year.
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on,
maybe
dog.
there's, continuity, contract. That's why he is able to stay so long because of that. And probably you'll have to pay him penalties for firing him and get more. So maybe
I would
stuff like that is in
say
the
that
contract.
Ben Johnson was a very hot commodity. He was the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. He was considered the next it guy. You were going to have to pay to get him, to either, one, get him to leave Detroit, which was a great situation for him, but also to beat out other teams interested in him. Stefanski did not have that kind of leverage when he signed here in 2020. He was a Vikings OC. The Browns are the only teams really pursuing him. He certainly didn't have the resume.
Look at the talent that Chicago will display with the running game and their wide receivers and their quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Ben Johnson stepped from Detroit, who has just about everything and every skill set, to Chicago. It's home for him. We have not been able to conquer all those things. We haven't had 2 or 3 good receivers. And all of a sudden, you don't even have linemen. So we're going to be hurting for a long time until we fill in the voids.
That was part of the reason he wanted to go to Chicago.
Yes.
Caleb and all of the weapons there. Guys, thanks for the insight. Browns, Bears, fast approaching for Josh Cribbs and Reggie Langhorne. I'm Mark Schwab. See ya!